Okay, ladies and gents, these are some examples of 7.4. 7.4 is pretty much the same exact thing as 7.3. The steps are all the same. We're just going to pay a little more extra attention to the answers that we get. So for up till now, we've been getting only one answer. We've been getting x equals or y equals or k equals some number. But now we're going to be getting all different kinds of answers, 3 different types. We're either going to get x equals a number, and that's one solution, or we're going to get a number equals a number, like 10 equals 10, or -3 equals -3, and that's going to be many solutions. And the last one is going to be maybe they 2 different numbers equal each other, like 10 equals 7, 100 equals 3, -10 equals 5. That's going to be no solutions. There's no answer for that. So these are just some extra things you have to write at the end of our problem. Otherwise, all the math that you're doing is exactly the same. So let's get to it. So I'm going to put my line down. So first we're going to use the distributive property. Now, we have parentheses, so we need to do the distributive property. So remember just that we need to distribute this -3 to x and to +4. Remember, we are multiplying. Now, if you need a reminder, remember, if there's just an x all by itself, there is a 1 there. There's always a coefficient of 1 to the left of every variable if the variable is just by itself. So that is 1x. So we are now going to multiply and then rewrite the problem. So -3 times 1. So -3 times 1x gets you -3x. -3 times 4 gets you -12. And we're going to bring down the 15 plus 15 equals the rest of this problem, 6 minus 4x. Step 1 is done. Then we're going to combine like terms. So remember, box your variables. And we're going to circle our constants. So that's constant, that's constant, that's constant. So this side has 3 terms, this side has 2. These 2 are the same, so I'm going to combine these. These 2 are not the same, so I cannot combine those. So I'm going to combine -12 and 15. So it's basically 15 minus 12 is going to get me a +3. So I'm going to rewrite this. We're going to bring down this -3x, and this is going to be +3 equals 6 minus 4x, and step 2 is done. All right, so we went from 5 terms to now we have 4 terms. And now we're going to move on to step 3. You make a 0 pair with a smaller variable. Which number is smaller, -3 or -4? -4 is farther away from 0, so -4 is our smaller variable. So I am going to make a 0 pair with it. To make a 0 pair, you need the same number, so 4x, but the opposite operation here says this is a -4, so I need a +4. So I'm going to add 4 to each side. These are going to cancel out. Now I have a -3 and a +4. Signs are different, so I'm going to subtract 4 minus 3 is 1. Keep the sign of the larger number is positive. So we're just left with x over here, with 1x, if you really want the 1 in there. And we're going to bring everything else down. +3 equals, this is gone, plus 6. Step 3 done. So now we're on to step 4. Step 4. So for step 4, it says make a 0 pair with the constant near the variable. Now this constant doesn't have a variable near it, so they're talking about this 3. So the opposite of +3 is -3, and that cancels. And whatever you do to one side, you do the exact same thing to the other side. So we're going to also subtract 3 from this side. You got to keep your equation balanced. Then we are left with x equals 6 minus 3 is 3. Now, you're mathematically done, but for 7.4, you need to add one of these options. So x equals 3 looks exactly like this one. X equals a. They just use variables here to take places of numbers. But if x equals a number, which is what we got, it is one solution. So for my answer, I need to write one solution. And this is my final answer. And that's what you need to write on your quizzes and homework. All right, let's do another one. Okay. Again, step 1, I'm going to use a distributive property. So I'm going to take this 2 and multiply it to everything on the inside. And don't forget your line. So I'm going to bring this down. 4x minus 5 equals 2 times 2 is 4x. 2 times -1 is -2. And bring down this -3. Step 1 is done. Then we're going to combine like terms. So remember, box your variables and circle your constants. There are 3 terms on this side, 2 of them that are the same, so I'm going to combine these 2. We don't like subtraction, remember? So you can easily change that by doing KFC. So you keep, flip, change. And now I got -2 plus -3, which gets me -5. And I'm going to rewrite this. So now I got, bring this down, 4x minus 5 equals 4x minus 5. We got the same thing on each side. That's interesting. So now we're going to make a 0 pair with the smaller variable. Uh-oh, which one's smaller? None of them. So in this case, just pick one. Doesn't matter which one. They're both the same. So I am going to do this one. Subtract 4x. Subtract 4x. Uh-oh, that goes away. And that one goes away. Uh-oh, my x's are gone. So that means I'm going to rewrite what's left. So I got -5 equals -5. That's strange. Well, hey, let's look at our cheat sheet over here. Well, it's not x equals a number. We don't have that, so it's not one solution. A equals A is many solutions. Well, hey, I got -5 equals -5. Those, that's the same, and that's the same. So this one is many solutions. So I'm going to write many solutions. And that is my final answer. This is your answer you need on your homework and quizzes. All right. I keep forgetting to check all these off. All right, we didn't even need to do divide by coefficient. Let's do one more, last one. Okay, last problem. Okay, so step 1, use the distributive property if needed. Do you see parentheses? I don't, so I don't need to use that step. So that step, we don't need that one. Combine like terms if needed. So let's see if we need them. So I'm going to box, and box, circle, circle. There's only 2 on each side, and neither of them have the same shape, so I can't actually combine anything, so we don't need that step either. Next, we're going to make a 0 pair with the smaller variable if needed. Okay, so we look at the variables. Uh-oh, they're the same. So in this case, we're just going to pick one. So there's a positive 4x. I'm going to subtract 4x. Subtract 4x. And, oh, those go away and those go away. What am I left with? I am left with 2 equals -5. And well, that looks weird, doesn't it? Well, let's look. X equals A. Well, there's no variable here, and it doesn't equal something. It doesn't equal that. So that's not one solution. A equals A. This is not the same number that equals each other, so it's not many solutions. So it must be this last one. A equals B, which is no solution. So I have 2 equals -5. There are 2 numbers that don't equal each other. They are not the same. They do not equal each other, so it is no solution. So you need to write no solutions. Oops. T-I-O. There we go. Okay. No solutions. And you are done. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.